New state guidance in effect today eases restrictions on private gatherings. It now allows up to 3 households to meet up outdoors. The rules say gatherings must be outdoors with social distancing. They even give guidelines for singing and time limits. News 8's Heather Hope has reaction from San Diegans and local leaders.
Yes, and talking to people at Balboa Park today, getting their consensus, some welcoming the new rules, saying having up to 3 households gets them back to some sense of normalcy. Yet some are calling the new guidelines an overreach, not wanting the government to tell them what they can do in their own backyards.
Guidelines are a little bit ridiculous. That seems silly to me.
Sounding off on California's mandatory requirements that say all gatherings are limited to no more than 3 households and must be held outside where guests are at least 6 feet apart and wearing a face covering.
It messes with people's rights as Americans to get too nitpicky with that.
Listen to what the scientific research is showing and make common sense decisions. And if you're sick, don't go to a party.
The new rules go on to say gatherings should be 2 hours or less. The host should collect names of all attendees and their information in case contact tracing is needed later.
With the government telling us how much we can breathe outside and what kind of notes we need to take when people visit, that's just ridiculous.
The rules say singing, chanting, shouting are strongly discouraged as the activity increases the release of droplets in the air.
That's pushing the guidelines. That's a little bit insane.
I know, that's hard for us because I've got a singer right here. Yeah. So
Instrumental music is allowed as long as the musicians maintain social distance. 1 musician per household and avoid playing instruments like the trumpet or clarinet.
How do they know there are only 3?
And how will the rules be enforced?
I also think the police have enough on their plate.
Supervisor Nathan Fletcher, co-chair of the county's COVID-19 subcommittee, states, "I hope this will bring some relief to families and friends who want to safely and responsibly gather. With all these steps, we have to continually remind one another to continue to be safe and also slow the spread." While County Supervisor Jim Desmond states, "This is more absurdity from the state. These guidelines read like a comedy sketch. This is just more big government intervening in our lives. We should allow adults to be able to make their own decisions."
And I like to think that our public health officials are trying to keep us all reasonably safe.
COVID is still a real thing, so as long as they keep that in mind and are taking the necessary precautions.
Again, those new state guidelines go into effect here in San Diego County starting today, asking all those who host people with close to 3 households at their homes to be able to keep a contact sheet in an effort to keep up with contact tracing. Heather Hope, News 8.